Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Atlanta 250 of the All-American ARCA Series here at the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway. It is the season finale. It is the Catalina wine mixer of racing as we get ready for 163 laps, 250 miles of the best in the business at the All-American ARCA Series. As always, on behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, I'm James East in the booth, bringing the action 1080p, 60 frames a second as we get ready to kick off the season finale. It is guaranteed to be a good one, as right now single car qualifying is underway for our competitors. And as always, I'd like to thank everybody ever so much that tuned in all season long, supporting your favorite driver, supporting your favorite league, and supporting your favorite broadcaster. We could absolutely not do it without you all around the world, and we thank you so ever much. As we get ready, it's going to be 29 racers making their way out here today, trying to put down the best possible time they possibly can. As right now you're watching Craig Martin in the 00, the lone Canadian out on track. His last time by was at 31.85, good enough for 15th place. Let's see if he can improve that time here. And he does so with a 31.56, propels himself up to 11th. We've got Alex Harrington, the number 85 machine, out on track for his opening lap. As it is going to be a great race here today. Let us know in the comments who you're rooting for. We always appreciate the feedback from our fans across the world, and I can promise you the racers go back through and they watch the broadcast for those that aren't watching it live, and they definitely notice when the fans are cheering them on, and is well appreciated. I'd also like to give a shout out to Joseph Penn, our active race control here today, as well as the entire Penn family. We know they all tune in each and every week. Patty Heller tune in supporting the 2511 racing guys. Always great seeing her each and every week. Right now it's Eckert in the number 90 machine. He's been the dominant car all season long, sitting on top of pole. We've got DJ Weeks, number 97. He's going out on track, seeing what he can do in qualifying. Again, these drivers have 2 hot laps that they can use to set down the quickest time possible. As DJ Weeks Jr. taking an alternative line around the track, diving it back into pit lane. And DJ Weeks Jr. sitting, watching, contemplating, but not going out. Nick Terrell, number 81 machine, he's out on track in that world-famous Doritos-backed race car. We've got M Chief 99 tuning in. He's asking if there's any going to be Team Goon Squad drivers out on track today. We have, I believe, Andrew Neri in the 654 machine, and he will be the lone Goon Squad backed race car out on track. Andrew Neri qualified 21st out of the 29 drivers so far. We've only had 23 put down qualifying times, as I don't think, no, Nick Terrell will not get a qualifying time, as we're going to get ready to take it to tonight's grid as we get 29 competitors out on track to get ready to get this party started. And let's take it to tonight's grid. Starting on pole, you've got Johnny Eckert in the number 90 machine. Andrew McGronigle in the number 16 starting second. Justin Ray starting 38th. James Silvers in the number 17 starting 4th. Zach Rogers in the number 5 machine, 5th on track. Kyle Hall in the number 87 will be starting 6th. Michael Vandermeet in the number 7. He'll be starting 7th on track. Brandon Barkowski in the number 25 starting 8th here today. Casey Carrington in the number 9 machine starting 9th. Christopher Heller in the number 11 starting 10th. Patrick Hernandez, number 19 machine, starting 11th. David Westergreen, broadcast extraordinaire. He's the number 93 race car today, starting 12th on track. We'll cycle it back to Josh Thompson, the number 51, starting 13th. Craig Martin, the current fastest Canadian out on track and the only Canadian out on track. And then the double zero will be starting 14th. Terry Freer, number 46, starting 15th. Alex Penn, the road racing extraordinaire, and the number 30 machine, starting 16th. Devin Scroggins with Alpha Ravioli Yoo-Hoo Racing, the number 66 machine, starting 17th. Davis Warren in the number 70, starting 18th tonight. Tyler the Weapon Evans, the number 15 machine, starting 19th. Alex Harrington starting 20th. We've got Andrew Neri in the 654 starting 21st. Shane Gentry in the number 22, or excuse me, in the number 26 starting 22nd. Careless Steele in the 01 machine starting 23rd. DJ Weeks Jr. number 97 starting 24th. Then you've got Jacob Feskinen, a newcomer here, number 89 machine, starting 25th. John Simpson Jr. in the 65, starting 26th. Dylan Smock in the number 60, starting 27th. Nick Terrell in the 81, starting 28th. And then we've got Larry Noel in the number 29 machine, starting 29th to round out today's grid. Thanks, AM Chief 99. We have put a poll in the chat. Let us know what you think the results are going to be here today for the season finale of All-American ARCA. It's Eckert and McGronigle, your front row, as the pace car makes its way in for the final first start of the season. As here we go, ladies and gentlemen, it's 163 laps here at the Atlanta 250. Now, I believe Eckert has already locked up the championship, but this is for the bragging rights. Everybody's out here wanting to put on the best show they possibly can. Looks like Eckert's got a little bit of a breakaway from McGronigle, but look at this. Here comes SoundCloud Silvers, the number 17 machine. He's worked his way up into third already. So good to see Silvers charging hard early on, trying to avoid maybe some of the mid-pack shenanigans we've seen earlier on this season. All the racers here today, just thankful we're not at USA International again, because last week, an absolute bloodbath from these competitors. As look at that, Silvers gets a little bit of the shimmy, almost gets into the outside wall, able to hold on to it. That's going to put pressure on him from Kyle Hall and Justin Ray, so that's going to be the battle for fourth on screen right now. As Silvers is going to try and catch back up to Zach Rogers in the number 5 machine. But man, look at those absolute pristine paint schemes we've got here today. And an absolute massive field as you see a little bit 2-3 wide action. I believe that's going to be Heller and Vandermeet going side by side. Heller is in the number 11 machine, Vandermeet in the 7. It looks like Heller's going to get the move and make it clean. Uh-oh, we got somebody off track. That was Terry Freer, the number 40. No, that was the number 15 machine. Oh, my apologies. The number 46 of Terry Freer took an alternative line through the start-finish line, cut all the grass down, but able to hold on to it. As we go back up to fourth place, Kyle Hall, number 87 machine. He's up 2 spots so far here today, trying to catch up to Zach Rogers and maybe battle for the podium here early on. Atlanta, known for one of being the tracks that really wears out tires. As now, looks like Rogers trying to make a move on McGronigle to take over that second place spot. These guys don't have many laps to really push hard and try and gain some spots. Before the tire wear really becomes a factor for these guys. So it's about to be a 3-car battle for second. We've got Deanna Piano tuned in tonight. She's cheering on Davis. I assume she means Davis Warren in the number 70 machine. Warren currently at 17th on track. He's up one spot here today. As this is the battle for second. Zach Rogers, Kyle Hall, and Jim McGonigal running second through fourth right now. In fact, that camera angle out a little bit for you. Eckert in the number 90 machine, he's had clean air almost this entire time. Hasn't felt too much pressure from behind here for the season finale. We've clicked off 8 laps so far here today. Going to be interesting to see what the fuel strategy is. A lot of these drivers not used to those green flag pit stops that we've seen in the past, and not quite sure what the fuel window is going to be for these drivers. As Eckert currently holds the fastest lap of the race out front with a 31.44. He's absolutely hauling the mail. We're going to cycle back a little bit further in the field to see what's going on. As you've got a lot of drivers trying to shuffle around. Right now you'll focus on Michael Vandermeer, the number 7 machine. He's trying to catch up to Dave Westergreen and battle for that 9th spot. But right now Vandermeer is on the bubble for the top 10. Behind him he's got Craig Martin, Casey Carrington, Patrick Hernandez, Alex Penn. And oh, here we go. The first caution of the day comes out. Not quite sure where it was, as I believe it's going to be Tyler Evans involved. But let's see if we can take a look here and see what may have happened. Oh! Who was that got into him? So that was Evans got dumped by the number 89, I think, of Feskinen. Maybe got into each other. Oh, and then an absolute yard sale behind him. We're going to watch that once more and a little bit slower to see if we can get an eye on exactly what happened. That's the wrong button. So yeah, Feskinen just ever so slightly hit Evans. And then the number 46 machine comes screaming in. Now as Terry Freer gets involved, gets into the back of Feskinen. Shane Gentry, John Simpson, all involved with that one. Tyler Evans gets tagged again by the number 81. I believe that was the 81. And look, they're still crashing behind him. I believe we saw Nick Terrell get involved in that one as well. And that will bring out the first caution here of the night. While we have our very first caution, I'd like to once again thank everybody that tunes in every week and likes the video. It helps get it seen for the drivers to get the maximum exposure they possibly can. And for those of you that have subscribed to the Team Goon Squad channel, it's always ever so greatly appreciated. And keep an eye out as we will be posting some more real-life racing shenanigans in the near future on the channel. So something to keep an eye on for our race fans at home. Got a lot of cool things in the works, and I don't know if you guys at home have heard, but here at Team Goon Squad, we will be covering all of the action for All-American ARCA for Season 2. We've had such a good time watching all the clean racing going on all season long, so we're going to be back next season in the booth, and looking forward to calling some more great racing from all of these athletes. We're going to get them stacked back up 2 rows wide, about 15 rows deep, as we have not heard any confirmation from race control. Just like that, we do get confirmation. Deemed an racing incident between Feskinen and Evans for the lap 10 incident. A netcode problem sent them both careening around. Again, thank you to Joseph Penn, our race control tonight, for always making the calls. That is a thankless and tiring position at time. As now that we're back out there in the action, it's Eckert up front, Kyle Hall, Zach Rogers second, Kyle Hall third. Andrew McGraw fourth, and James Silvers fifth, as Justin Ray had a bit of a problem coming out of pit lane, I believe, or coming out of turn 4, I should say, able to hold on to it. Now, I did not see anybody besides some of the participants that were involved in that incident come down pit lane. Everybody valuing track position here today, not wanting to come in too early. As man, oh man, look at Heller pressuring McGronagall's number 16 machine, trying to work his way up to the front and maybe try and battle with Kyle Hall, number 87. All of these guys searching for a podium, trying to score the most amount of points they can to wrap up the season in the highest position possible. Because again, Eckert, number 90 machine, he has mathematically won the season already, but everybody else still wants their first win or maybe some additional wins. As, Kyle Hall with a big moment. Able to hold on to it, but almost sends it careening around in the number 87 machine. A well done save to Hall, as that's going to be Heller riding the outside line there. Looks like he made it work quite well, though. He's going to stay in front of Hall, as now Silver's number 17 machine is going to try and make his way through. Heller really putting the pressure on McGronagall here, trying to work his way up into that podium spot, as well as, again, is the odd numbers that start on the inside line. For any restarts, and that can be huge for these drivers trying to get themselves the best track position, especially as tire wear becomes a factor. It becomes very hard to push. And Atlanta is one of those tracks that's known for absolutely chewing up drivers' tires. As it looks like Silvers was trying to look around Heller, but no, Heller's going to take over that third place spot. Getting around McGronagall with number 16 machine. Now is McGronagall keeping the long game in mind here? Or is he maybe burned up a little bit of tires early on? It's tough to tell. Looks like everybody's kind of broken down into single file for the most part. You've got Silvers looking around the outside of McGronagall. But not quite able to make it stick here. We're going to cycle back to about P16. We've got Feskinen, the new driver, the stand-in driver, the number 89 machine. His first time here at the All-American ARCA Series. He's in quite the heated battle with Devin Scroggins, DJ Weeks Jr., Davis Warren, Josh Thompson, all running around in a pack here. Scroggins easy to spot, the number 66 machine, the Yoo-Hoo painted race car, the number 66. Always an easy one to spot each and every race we broadcast that he's involved. As now Scroggins, he has company from DJ Weeks Jr. trying to run that outside line, the number 97 machine, to work his way into 14th. As, oh, Scroggins and Feskinen almost made contact there, able to hold on to it. But these guys putting on a great show, as here comes Josh Thompson as well. He's going to try and get around Devin Scroggins. So Scroggins falling back just a little bit here. Now he's got Andrew Neri in the 654 machine with a new paint scheme, I believe. We're going to cycle back up front where it is a single file freight train. It's Eckert, Rogers, Heller, McGronigle, and Silvers rounding out our top 5, but really no chance for anybody to make any mistakes and not have it capitalized on, as Kyle Hall in 6th. He's got company from Barkowski, Vandermeed, Carrington. We've got world famous Larry Fulcher tuning in today. Always a fan of him. Just got his shirts and stickers in from his company. Very impressed with the quality that we received. And just an all-around race fan as well. Yeah, Bad News Supply Company, one of the providers of all the broadcasting team apparel throughout all of our races we call. Right now you're watching Silvers get a whole lot of company from Kyle Hall. Silvers is down 1 spot from where he started, currently 5th on track. Kyle Hall in the number 87 machine started off 6th, currently in 6th. So he is net neutral so far here today. As Hall gets quite the run there at the start-finish line, but not quite able to capitalize. As now he's going to look to the inside of Silvers. Silvers running the middle line. Hall running the inside middle line, I guess I should say, the inside line more than anything. But it looks like Silvers was able to carry just a little bit more speed running that middle line. It's going to be interesting to see which of those lines is able to keep the tire wear most contained. As now Silvers has a lot of company, as he's got Brandon Barkowski, Kyle Hall, Michael Vandermeed, all trying to get around Silvers here today. And in front of Silvers, we got a battle as well. It's Rogers, McGronigle, and Heller. The three-way battle for 2nd place, so great racing all across the racetrack. As Christopher Heller has moved up into 2nd place behind Johnny Eckert. Then you've got Andrew McGronigle 3rd, and not far off, Zach Rogers in 4th. Then about, not much, maybe half a second back to James Silvers, leading this 2nd pack of cars. Now when these 3 drivers battling for 2nd or going 2-3 wide like this, that is allowing Eckert the opportunity to extend his gap over this 2nd, or the 1st pack of cars in this instance. And that's also allowing the likes of Barkowski, Silvers, Vandermeed, Hall, Carrington an ample opportunity to catch up to this lead pack and maybe interject themselves into the battle. Silvers once again in a battle with his teammate Michael Vandermeed, number 7. The number 7 and 17 are teammates here for Cornerstone Motorsports. As they're going to go side by side. Oh, Silvers hold on to it. He gets wildly loose, coming out of 4. But besides losing the position to his teammate Vandermeed, that could have went way worse for the number 17 machine, as now he's going to drift high, trying to hold off Kyle Hall as long as he can. Not a whole lot of single file action really anywhere across this racetrack. Everybody's jockeying for position as hard as they possibly can. Silvers has, I believe that is Terrell right in front of the number 81 machine, the Doritos-backed race car, who is a lap down, as well as we saw Shane Gentry run the high line in the number 26 machine, the bright pink car of Shane Gentry. Oh, Silver's having a rough go holding on to it, as it is getting quite dicey for the number 17 machine. As look at this, here comes Casey Carrington in the number 9 machine, trying to work his way up past his teammate Kyle Hall, and now trying to work on James Silvers. Maybe using lap traffic to his advantage, knowing Silvers will have to check up just ever so slightly to get in the back, to avoid getting in the back of Shane Gentry, the number 26. Gentry getting that bright pink race car, going a lap down from everyone at this point. Brandon Barkowski, I believe he just got around Michael Vandermeed and is trying to catch up about a second back from Zach Rogers, number 5, who is currently 4th on track. We're going to cycle up front. Andrew McGonigal has taken over second place once more after battling with Christopher Heller. He's about 0.6 of a second back. Where did Nick Terrell come from? Terrell must be coming out on brand new tires compared to everyone else, and he is blazing fast and might be getting his lap back here shortly. I take it back. He's about 14 laps back from the leaders, but he's trying to get a lap back, which is important in the long, grand scheme of things. So Eckert is going to use the draft of Terrell to try and pull himself away from McGonigal. Again, it's 0.6 of a second separates Eckert, your race leader, from second place, Andrew McGonigal. And about a second back, you can find Christopher Heller, the number 11 machine. Now Heller, he is up 7 spots so far here today. He's worked his way up into 3rd. The question is, how much tire did he do, or did he use to make all those big moves? These drivers do have an 85% fuel capacity, but after listening to some of the drivers on pit lane going into tonight's race, their biggest concern, more so than anything, is tire wear. Are we going to see any blowouts here today? Tire management and tire strategy is going to be a huge factor. You do not want to come in early and take sets of tires if you absolutely do not need them. Let's look as Brandon Barkowski, the number 25 machine. He's trying to work his way around Zach Rogers in the number 5, while also getting a ton of pressure from Michael Vandermeed in the number 7. So this is the battle for 4th on track, and we see it each and every week here at All-American ARCA. Great racing all across the field. We're going to cycle a little bit further back as you're watching Dylan Smock in the number 60 machine. He's up 17 positions, trying to catch up to Patrick Hernandez in the number 19 machine and make some moves here. But just a lot of great racing all across the track here today. We've got Victoria Harper. She's tuned in here on the number 16 machine. That will be Andrew McGonigal, currently up 2nd. Again, McGonigal's about 0.6 of a second back from Johnny Eckert, your race leader, but he's also 0.6 ahead of Christopher Heller in the number 11 machine. McGonigal, excuse me. I might have been saying that wrong the entire season. Now McGonigal, he is still looking for his first win. He's got a career best of 5th at Charlotte earlier this season on July 16th, so he's going to try and get up there, as now we see McGonigal come into pit lane, maybe going for a bit of an undercut. So it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out for him. That's going to allow Christopher Heller to take over 2nd place. Zach Rogers moves to 3rd. Vandermeet to 4th. Barkowski up into 5th. So McGonigal, the very first driver to come into pit lane on lap 41. We're going to be interested to see what his strategy is for the remainder of the night and see how that pays off for the driver of the number 16 machine, as Davis Warren, the number 70, also coming into pit lane. Up front, it is still Johnny Eckert getting through lap traffic. That was the number 46 machine of Terry Freer that Eckert just got through. Silvers brings it into pit lane as well. Now, I would imagine if I was in Eckert's shoes right now, he's been gaining about a 1/10 of a second on 2nd place, Christopher Heller. Most laps here at Atlanta. We just got word from pit lane that Andrew Neri, the 654 machine, had an internet issue. He will have to be going back to pit lane. Kyle Hall brings the pit lane, and a caution comes out late. Larry Knoll, Nick Terrell, both involved. This is going to be interesting to see how this affects everybody in the pit cycles. Let's see what happens between Knoll and... Ooh. That was a violent crash. We're going to watch that one once more. So you're watching Larry Knoll. Oh. That's a hard hit between Knoll and Nick Terrell. Both drivers really getting hit hard there. I'm going to watch that one once more while we have the time. God, Terrell just had so much speed. It's tough to tell what exactly happened there, but a hard hit for both number 29 and the 81. And that will really shake things up here as far as the pit strategy goes for these drivers as we bring out our 2nd caution of the night. The entire field is going to come down pit lane except for those that have already pitted. As it does not appear too much has been shaken up in the running order on pit lane. As we get ready to re-rack, our competitors get them back out, pointing in the right direction. Out of 29 drivers that started, it's going to be interesting to see how many are still on the lead lap. I believe about 21 will be on the lead lap here. Now I think at this point, everyone's going to be on the same tire strategy here. We got a few drivers in pit lane for quite a long time. Alex Harrington, Shane Gentry, Carolus Thiel, Larry Noel, Nick Terrell, all still on pit lane trying to get some repairs done on their race cars. Race control declaring that lap 44 an incident and EOL for number 81 for crashing into the number 29. So that will fall on Terrell there. We're going to get ready to re-rack him. It's going to be Eckert and Heller, your front row, followed by Rogers and Vandermeer, then Barkowski and Carrington making up our front three rows here for the Atlanta 250 at the All-American ARCA Series. Pace car will be making its way in this time by as we get ready to go out for battle among our competitors. Here we go. The green flag flies and away we go. Eckert with a great launch. Heller on the outside. Zach Rogers, number 5 machine, looking for the inside line. This is where things get quite exciting for our competitors. We get the field stacked back up. They're all on pretty much equal sets of tires here now. Casey Carrington trying to make something work on the outside line, trying to get around. Barkowski seems to make it work so far. As we've got a three-way battle for fourth between Vandermeer, Barkowski, and Carrington. All these guys have made major moves up the field so far here tonight, up at least 3 positions each. Now we got tantalizingly close to a full field green flag pit stop here today. It was interrupted by that caution, but the guys are getting a little bit more comfortable out there. I mean, really all season long, the driving just got in better and better from the competitors on these 1.5 mile and super speedway tracks. Despite some of the slippery conditions that these All-American ARCA cars can present you with. As you're on board with Zach Rogers, number 5 machine, trying to catch up to Johnny Eckert, your race leader. You can see now that Eckert is about to have company from the lap traffic, and it's going to be a game of who can cut through traffic the easiest here. As it's going to be, oh, that was the number 29 machine of Larry Noel. Tags the outside wall, maybe trying to get out of the way of the race leaders, but goes a little bit too high and makes contact with the wall. Barkowski and Vandermeed battling hard for that 4th place spot. Barkowski currently 4th on track. Vandermeed 5th. Right behind them, though, they've got Carrington, they've got Westergreen, they've got Hernandez, and they've got DJ Weeks Jr. all running a pretty tight pack here today at this point in the race. We are not quite to the halfway mark here today, but these guys doing a great job so far. It's honestly been a relatively clean race from our competitors, not having too many big incidents. We've seen a couple of yard sales where involving 3, 4, 5 drivers. And we've seen a couple of 2-car incidents. Again, right now you're watching Brandon Barkowski, the pilot of the number 25 machine, one of the half of 2511 Racing. Right now, out of that team, Barkowski is 4th, with his teammate Christopher Heller in the number 11 machine, currently 3rd on track. As it looks like the field's actually going single file for the most part, which is a little bit rare here. So maybe they've learned a lot as the season went on, as the penalty points accumulated. And as several of the drivers have found themselves leaving the racetrack week in and week out with absolutely destroyed race cars. There's only times you can do that before your crew chief gets very upset with you. Christopher Heller has broken away from Brandon Barkowski, but now he's putting the pressure on Zach Rogers to make a move up to the inside line, trying to take over that 2nd place spot. These guys are still about 0.4 seconds behind Eckert, your race leader, as every time they go side by side, it's allowing Eckert a chance to breathe. But look at that. It looks like Heller's able to do a little bit of a slide job over Zach Rogers, take over that 2nd place spot. Right now, Heller is up 8 positions so far here today. And now he's going to try and catch up to jumping Johnny Eckert in the number 90 machine. We've clicked off 59 fast laps so far here today. It is Eckert out front, Heller 2nd, Rogers 3rd, Barkowski 4th, Vandermeed 5th, as it looked like Heller had a little bit of an overcorrection there, trying to get through lap traffic. I'm fairly sure that was number 29 of Larry Noel and the baby blue and black machine. The race leaders were coming by. I think Barkowski just had a big moment. I didn't see it on track, but he has really worked his way towards the back here. I'm not quite sure what happened to Barkowski, if he got punted down pit road or what may have happened there. Is look at all the front end damage on the number 25 machine. We're going to back that up a little bit and see what just happened to the number 25, as something definitely happened. He made contact with the outside wall, it looks like, and that's going to ruin his chances of a good finish here today, as he does bring it onto pit road to try and get those repairs done. So I believe that may take Barkowski out of tonight's race. It's going to be interesting to see if he gets back out on track or if he's going to retire here for the evening. See if we can get word from his crew chief on what might have happened here. Up front, it is Eckert, Heller, Rogers, Weeks, Vandermeed rounding out our top 5. A few new names and faces in the top 5 here today. And the yellow flag will come out. Not quite sure what happened there. So we'll wait to see what may have happened to bring out the caution. I'm not sure if Noah blew up and that brought out the caution. As no, he was comfortably on the pit lane. I'll be honest, ladies and gentlemen, not entirely sure what brought out the caution here. We'll see if we can get word from race control on what may have happened to bring out this incident for the third time here today as the pace car rolls. Live time and scoring didn't show anything. Normally it's pretty good about showing us any incidents as the drivers try and fake out their friends on who's going to go down pit lane and who's going to stay out. There's a game of follow the leader to see what Eckert, number 90 machine. These guys have 20 laps on these tires. I'd imagine pretty much everyone's going to stay out, not wanting to put too much wear on their tires. But we do have Brandon Barkowski in the booth here with us. Brandon, what happened out on track? We saw you had to come into pit lane with some heavy damage, but we didn't see the incident.
Yeah, I don't know what happened exactly. There's really not really a lot of explanation for. I don't know what was going on. The 85 looked like just got in the wall, and he was kind of, wall riding the ARCA car. I know a lot of times tends to stay on the wall, and went pretty much down on the apron, and he just turned into us. So, oh well, it was fun, but stuff like that definitely makes it not fun. But we'll be back next season, and hopefully Chris gets it done. That's all we can root for now.
Now, Brandon, I know we're kind of in the silly season right now. Are you and Heller going to be running the same team next season?
Yeah, we actually we have plans to expand a little bit. We got, I think, one or two of our buddies coming over here as well. So I guess the big plan is to try to really compete with Outlaw. They had us beat this year. We had a couple wins as a team, and we raced really well. But we want to, be first in the team standings. So that's going to be our goal moving forward.
Well, awesome. Looking forward to it, Brandon. Hate you had the bad luck here tonight, but you ran great all season, and can't wait to see what you guys do next year as well.
Oh, yeah, we're excited. This league is a blast, and we'll be ready for Daytona.
Awesome. See you there, Brandon. Thank you.
Yep. Take care.
That was Brandon Barkowski, the pilot of the number 25, having to retire early, just thinking it was a bit of a bad luck between himself and Alex Harrington. Not really blaming Harrington too much, as I believe both drivers will be retired for the evening. As we get ready to send them back out, it'll be Eckert, Heller, your front row, Rogers, Weeks, your second row, and then Vandermeet and Carrington, your third row. Again, this is the season finale. The points chase has been all tied up, but these guys are racing for glory and for team points. And that's kind of the thing here, racers race. That doesn't matter if you're in it for the points or not. If you have the opportunity to go out there and charge hard, you're going to race if given the opportunity. And it's about having a lot of fun each and every Friday night. Now, we have not seen any news from race control on what may have brought out that caution, so that could be one of those things where iRacing throws it a little prematurely. It is not the first time we've ever seen that happen. For those that are wondering along at home, and maybe you're not quite iRacing fans, but you like cheering on your favorite driver, the sim has its own built-in flag system. If it detects a wreck, it'll throw the caution. Now, sometimes that system is flawed. It's not always perfect, but it does the best it can. So sometimes it'll throw a caution maybe a little bit prematurely from my point of view, and sometimes it'll miss something absolutely egregious. As look at this, I believe Barkowski is going to go back out on track. Able to get the number 25 machine hammered back into shape. He's going to be about 6 laps down, but if we keep seeing these cautions, he may have a chance to get back on the lead lap by the time it is all said and done here today. Away they go. As look at this, DJ Weeks Jr. gets a great launch on the outside line, trying to pick up a tow from his teammate Johnny Eckert, who gets to the outside wall. We did get word there was 2 incidents on that lap 64. The number 16 got into the number 26, and the 00 got into the 01. So 2 different wrecks that happened there, and that's what took Race Control so long to push out that update. But again, you got to give a hand to Joseph Penn, our active Race Control tonight, who's been making it all happen behind the scenes. This race would not go nearly as well without him. As up front, you've got Eckert, you've got Weeks, you've got Heller, and you've got Rogers all battling hard. It looks like it's going to be Eckert and Weeks take over the race lead, accompanied by Heller and Rogers. Now you've got a couple teammates up here between Eckert and Weeks that are going to work hard together to try and propel themselves up front. As Heller, not one to be outdone, is going to try and make that outside groove happen. As right behind Heller, Zach Rogers and Casey Carrington have their battle. Right now, all eyes are on DJ Weeks Jr. He's gotten shuffled back to third. Heller did not want to give up second place. But keep an eye as well on Casey Carrington. He's trying to make an outside line work against Zach Rogers to get his way up into the 4th place spot. DJ Weeks Jr., though, he is up 21 positions here today. As the caution once again comes out, I believe that may be Evans involved as well as Craig Martin. Let's take a look. Oh! Carnage! We're going to back that one up and maybe from a different camera angle. We're going to back that up a little bit more because I think I see what happens here. So it looks like Scroggins gets into Evans, is what it looks like from this point of view. No, it looks like Evans came down on Scroggins as they both drift in tandem. But look at this. Evans is going to get slingshotted back up the track going into, I believe that's turn 1. And then absolutely drills the 654 of Andrew Neri. Neri just an innocent victim here. Oh! And the number 25, Barkowski, who'd worked on his car so hard to get back out there, he gets collected. Look at that, Barkowski's back left wheel completely off the ground, unable to roll anywhere. Evans backs up to allow Craig Martin through. But he's having traction problems as well in this slippery grass here in Atlanta. Now, the track is known for eating up tires, but the grass is known for being super slippery. But Race Control having a busy night here today. Not quite at the halfway mark as we have our 4th caution of the evening. So that will be declared the number 15 in EOL collision with the number 66. That seems pretty fair from my point of view up here in the booth. We're going to see if Evans is going to be getting back out on track in the number 15 machine or if he's going to be done for the evening. We're going to get them stacked back up with Eckert and Heller still the front row. Weeks and Carrington, your second row. Then Rogers and Vandermeer, your third row. So it's good to see Carrington. He's been charging through the field here, as well as DJ Weeks Jr. Again, Weeks is up 21 positions so far here today. Well, we're going to try and get them racked back up, and we are going to be able to hear from Tyler Evans, number 15 machine, involved in that late incident there. Guys, here we go. Real quickly, we've got Tyler Evans joining us from pit lane. Evans, it looked like the night's not going well for you. What happened on that last incident?
I'm not sure, man. I was coming down the track. I thought I was holding the line pretty well, and then all of a sudden a car comes up into the bottom of me, and then, you know, it's history from there.
Looks like, unfortunately, you kind of got pogoed around the track. Are you going to be able to get back out there today, or is the car done?
I've got about 14 minutes worth of damage, so that's going to be a game time decision. Probably not.
All right, Evans, hate to hear it, buddy. Hopefully you and the rest of the Cornerstone guys are back here next season. Always a great time talking to you.
Oh, yeah, man. We've had a lot of fun this season, and it's been a pleasure just to be able to come out here every week and run with you guys.
Well, always a pleasure. That's Tyler Evans, number 15 machine. Tyler, once again, thank you for your time, and sorry for the bad luck here today.
Hey, no problem. Good luck to the rest of the drivers.
Tyler Evans, an absolute professional on and off the track, and having a very rough night here today, as now we're watching Christopher Heller in quite the battle, number 11 machine. He's got Zach Rogers as well as Casey Carrington right with him, putting on a heck of a battle for this third place spot. That has allowed DJ Weeks Jr. to move up into second pretty comfortably. He's very happy seeing all these drivers behind him battling, giving him a chance to breathe and a little bit of reprieve as the guys behind them will slow down the pace and allowing Weeks to extend that 0.4 of a second gap that he has over third place Christopher Heller. Heller having to drive the wheels off the number 11 machine to try and stay ahead of Rogers, Carrington, Hernandez, Vandermeer, Westergreen, Penn, all in this pack of drivers here. Man, this battle for third is quite exciting. Look at that. Heller still battling hard with Zach Rogers. Casey Carrington, he is currently leading his teammate Patrick Hernandez. Again, putting the pressure on. Looks like he's getting around Zach Rogers here. Rogers falls off the pace a little bit. And man, these guys are making some moves here. Now again, this is allowing DJ Weeks Jr., who's actually taking over the race lead, as well as Johnny Eckert, the two teammates communicating on maybe who's going to lead, who's going to follow for a little bit. As we're going to cycle up front to check on Johnny Eckert, who's following his teammate DJ Weeks Jr. Weeks up 23 spots here today. Now you've got to wonder as well, is there maybe some team orders in play trying to score some more points for the second car? Let's get a good view of DJ Weeks Jr. who's running the 911 Memorial paint scheme here today. DJ Weeks Jr. leads another lap, but uh-oh, we got a big blink here. Oh, a massive blink. We've been having problems with the iRacing service over the last 24 hours. In my last night's broadcast, we dropped about 25% of the field if you include the broadcaster. Hopefully that's not what's happening here today. It looks like everybody's still out on track. The three drivers that have retired are Barkowski, Terrell, and Harrington. But man, that's going to be something to keep an eye on, as now McGraw, number 16 machine, charging hard up the front, trying to interrupt the party that Weeks and Eckert are having. So now McGraw will be your race leader ahead of the two teammates, DJ Weeks Jr. and Johnny Eckert. Now McGonigal came in on lap 72 for tires, so he's got one of the freshest sets possible. And that's going to allow him to put down some blistering fast lap times, about a half second a lap faster than Weeks, Carrington, and Eckert. So this is the point in the race where Weeks and Eckert, the previously fast drivers, are going to be praying for a caution. As we are past the halfway mark here today. look at McGonigal go with those fresh tires. The number 16 machine absolutely flying here today as he's extended his lead to about 1.3 seconds. As DJ Weeks Jr. and Casey Carrington started to battle. Carrington looking up the inside line against Weeks. Now pretty much everybody else on the track has pitted around that lap 45 mark except for Andrew McGonigal, who made a later call, and it seems to be working well for the number 16 machine. As now Casey Carrington will take over second place from DJ Weeks Jr. and jumping Johnny Eckert. Now in theory, this means you're going to see guys such as Carrington, Weeks, Eckert come in around the lap, I'd imagine around the lap 95, 96 mark. As their last pit stop was on lap 45. Now, they may have stretched out maybe closer to lap 100 since they did have that spree of cautions, allowing them to fuel save just a little bit. But we know these guys have been going about 45 laps on a set of tires when things were green. So it'll be interesting to see how long the guys stay out for, if McGonigal is going to come in around lap 120 or so, or what the plan's going to be. We've got our viewers at home cheering on Andrew McGonigal, saying someone needs to tear that car down. Now, if you're joining in, McGonigal came in on lap 72 for 4 fresh tires and possibly a full tank of gas. Maybe not even 4 tires. His pit stop was only about 12 seconds long. Normally a 4-tire stop is around high 14 to low 15 seconds. So I'd imagine McGonigal at least took 2 tires here, as he is absolutely checked out. So it is not quite the even playing field, as McGonigal taking those tires seems to really work well for him. And now you're watching Johnny Eckert battle with Casey Carrington for second place. Meanwhile, up front, McGonigal has extended that lead to about 2.4 seconds over the rest of the field, with no signs of slowing down here today. We had 29 drivers enter. We have 20 still on the lead lap. We've got about 2 drivers that have pitted for the rest of the evening. That's Alex Harrington, Brandon Barkowski. We know Tyler Evans, he's in pit lane. He's been in the pit lane for 15 minutes so far. It'll be interesting to see if he comes back out on track to try and salvage some points. As how long are these guys going to be able to stay out for? Because right now McGonigal, he is the man to beat. McGonigal's last time by at 32.98. He's about not quite a tenth faster than Johnny Eckert and Casey Carrington, who have been burning up a whole lot of tires here today, battling hard for that second, third, fourth place spot. But is McGonigal out front with about a 2.7 second gap? I'm curious to see, is McGonigal going to be doing any fuel saving here, or if he's going to enjoy the glory of being out front and clicking up those laps led, maybe padding the old stats just a little bit. As McGonigal has backed off the pace 25 laps on his set of tires. I'm not sure if that's the tire wear or maybe a little bit of fuel saving, as now Alex Penn and I believe Devin Scroggins are going to come down pit lane for their green flag stop. McGonigal, no sign of slowing down. He's almost 3 seconds ahead the rest of the pack of Johnny Eckert and Casey Carrington. Now a total pit stop is equal to about 40 seconds on pit lane, 45 or so seconds from cone to cone by the time they cross the entry cone to the time they leave the exit cone. So if Eckert and Carrington, and really most of the field, the guys that came in lap 45 do have to pit under green, that is going to put them about a lap and a half behind Andrew McGonigal if he's going to be able to stay out for the entirety of his fuel run. And if I was McGonigal, I would keep that freight train rolling. No sign of slowing down anytime soon. We know he's got the tires to do it, but he will have to navigate lap traffic as well, as now he's got Devin Scroggins in his sight. Scroggins in the bright yellow number 66 Yoo-Hoo painted race car. We're going to cycle back again to check on Johnny Eckert, who's got a bit of a chance to breathe. He's about 0.6 of a second ahead of Casey Carrington in third. And you've got Vandermeet fourth, Rogers fifth, Heller sixth, Hernandez seventh, Weeks eighth, Westergreen ninth, and Thompson 10th here today. 62 laps remaining here, ladies and gentlemen, as we are really shaking things up. A little bit of strategy has really changed the landscape that we see. We just got a word from pit lane that Dylan Smock, the pilot of the number 60 machine, he has a bit of internet problems as well, and he will be retiring for the evening. As once again, a major blink from the entire field. What is going on here with iRacing? Hernandez, Silvers, your broadcaster, all having internet problems here today. Terry Freer, James Silvers, oh, it's happening again. I believe Feskinen might have had internet problems too. No, Feskinen drives it on his own accord. But we talked about this early in the broadcast where things were going bad for several drivers. It happened in the broadcast yesterday. It happened in another Thursday league I keep track of. And now it appears it is biting hard on a Friday. So for those at home, when you see the sim stuttering and kind of hiccuping like that, that is the sim not able to connect to the drivers or the broadcaster with those big stutters. Now, I am at a bit of an advantage over the racers, as if I am blinking for so long, it will not disconnect me, as I am not a racer. But if you're on track and you have issues that long, it will actually send you back to pit lane and remove you from the racetrack. So I do not believe that we're going to have a red flag incident here, but there are several drivers that were definitely affected by that. As here we go again. More blinking. Not sure if we claimed any more victims here from that one. But it has been a rough week here for iRacing. Now, we did get a question from one of our viewers today is, do they have a red flag rule here at All-American ARCA? I don't think they do. All cars remain on track, no red flag at this time, so there is confirmation from race control that there are server problems here today. iRacing is having a bit of issue. but they will not have a red flag as all cars remain on track. Now, for those of you guys again that are tuned in tonight and maybe not full-time iRacing fans, every 12 weeks is what an iRacing regular season runs. And right now we're on week 13, where the iRacing officials push out new updates for all the drivers, new tracks, new cars, new nuances for how things work. But that can lead to a bit of silliness out on track, as we've been seeing it all week. Big problems from our competitors. Right now, only 4 drivers in the lead lap. Andrew McGronigle, Davis, Warren, Carolus, Steele, Kyle Hall. McGronigle came in on lap 72. Warren, Thiel, and Hall came in on lap 64 the last time by. Now, Warren, Thiel, and Hall should be having to come in relatively soon. We know you can do about 45 laps comfortably on a set of tires here, and that is the biggest factor, is tires more so than fuel. But McGronigle, who came in on lap 72, should be able to stretch out a little bit further than his competitors. And now it is McGronigle, Warren, Thiel, and Hall, your top 4 drivers that are still on the lead lap, hoping for a caution. Right now you're watching Davis Warren, the number 70 machine. He is up 16 spots, currently in second, but again, he is still not pitted compared to a large portion of the field. But every lap he stays out here, especially he has only one final set of tires to make last, will improve his chances at the end of the race here. But he's got to be careful, as he's got drivers all around him trying to unlap themselves from him and get back up in the mix as they come out on fresh tires. Warren, he's about 11.5 seconds back from race leader Andrew McGronigle, but still driving very well and trying to get through the remaining laps here. About 50 laps remaining in tonight's main event to cap off a spectacular season here at the All-American ARCA Series. It's going to be interesting to see how Warren fares here, as he's got Terrell, the number 81 race car, making his way by. Now Terrell is down several laps here tonight. He's not going to do any risky maneuvers that may risk his race car or anyone else's. So a lot of very smart drivers out here today, not wanting to risk anything, especially this late in a race, especially this late in the season. It's the last race of the season debut here for the All-American ARCA drivers. And nobody wants to go home with a damaged race car at this point. As Warren is going to allow Terrell by nice and easy, no problem there. We're going to cycle back to Carolus Steele and the number 01 machine up 20 spots. So how long are McGronigle, Warren, and Thiel going to be able to stay out here today? As it is still only 4 drivers on the lead lap. 4 drivers that have not pitted yet for this final cycle. And as we do have drivers coming out on mixed tire sets, Are we going to see a caution that could throw a major wrench in this? As it looks like several drivers starting to get their laps back. We now have 10 drivers on the lead lap. Your top 10 has finally made its way back in the lead lap. Most of the field still about 30 seconds back from your race leader, Andrew McGronigle. Now at this point, if McGronigle comes in under green flag, he will come out about 15 seconds behind majority of the field with not a whole lot of laps left. So it's going to be interesting to see what the winning strategy may be here today. Your race leader, McGronigle, getting passed by Alex Penn, the road race extraordinaire, the number 30 machine. Penn getting his lap back here. Kyle Hall brings into pit lane. And your race leader, Andrew McGronigle, is going to come into pit lane. It's going to be interesting to see if Davis Warren and Carol Steele stay out. As it appears they are. Now Thiel comes down pit lane, but Warren stays out. So Warren will technically be your race leader with about a 13-second gap over second place, Casey Carrington here. But again, Warren does need to come into pit for the final time. It'll be interesting to see how long he stretches it out for here today at Atlanta. McGronigle has made his way back out on track. He'll be rejoining 13th on track. Davis Warren staying out in the number 70 machine. How long is Warren going to be able to stay out? As the last time he was pitted was on lap 64, so he's been out there quite a long time. Almost 60 laps on a set of tires. And something that we don't normally have to worry about here for All-American ARCA is he very well could have a blowout. He can actually wear through the tires and the sim will register as a blowout. The car will get all sorts of out of shape. And then the meatball flag will be thrown for the driver, which signals a mandatory pit stop or have to come into pit lane. The meatball flag, a black flag with a orange circle in the middle. Normally it means that somebody, a race official, needs to talk to you. It could be a sign that something has gone wrong with the car. Or it could signify a penalty. So now it's going to be Warren in the number 70 machine praying for a caution. As behind him, he's got Johnny Eckert and Casey Carrington coming up fast as they go side by side for second place. Both these competitors came in on lap 104. Excuse me, Carrington came in on lap 104. Carrington came in on lap 106. Or switch that. As now Davis Warren comes into pit lane on lap 123 with 40 laps remaining. So that is going to put Eckert as your new race leader with a whole lot of company from Casey Carrington. Longest stint of the race. The number 70 machine was able to click off 59 laps. That is a long time on a set of tires. We had somebody ask, what type of speeds are these competitors getting up to today? About 186, 187. No, I take that back. Kyle Hall hits 190 miles an hour is the fastest trap speed we've seen so far here tonight. These ARCA Menard cars, they are pretty good at drafting, but there is almost zero chance of successfully bump drafting with these machines. The rear bumper actually kind of angles up just a little bit, just ever so slightly, that the front bumper of a car behind you will actually lift up the rear end of your race car if you try and bump draft too aggressively. But in my personal opinion, I think the draft package on these is more fun than the Cup cars. There's less of a bubble to try and cut through. It allows you to pull up to the guys right in front of you and really provide some great white knuckle racing all the way around. As you're watching your race leader, Johnny Eckert, trying to fend off Casey Carrington, number 9 machine. There briefly was the number 70 machine of Warren, who's gotten his lap back here today. Warren's last time by was a 32.18, I believe, compared to the race leader, Johnny Eckert, who clicked off a 32.92. But not a lot of laps remaining here if we're going to try and see the number 70 machine of Warren to get back up there to that front spot, as he is 31 seconds back with about 35 laps left to go. That is a long way to go under these conditions to try and propel yourself back up to the front. And again, there's always the chance of a late race caution really throwing a wrench in things, as now you've got a bunch of drivers on mixed tire strategies intermingling. We've seen lap down drivers unlap themselves, just having insane amounts of speed compared to the guys that have been out there for 30 or 40 laps. As I'm not quite sure if we just saw an aggressive pit entry from Larry Noel. It almost looked like he went careening off the racetrack there. So up front is jumping Johnny Eckert, Casey Carrington, Heller, Weeks, Hernandez, running out your top 5. But everybody's trying to keep an eye on Davis Warren, the pilot of the number 70 machine, to see if he can get his way back up there with that late pit stop. He came to lap 123, so with 40 laps left in the race after his pit stop, he should hypothetically be one of the fastest drivers out on track if the tires can hold for him. It appears Eckert has got a bit of a groove here, not slowing down much. As we're going to take a look at Davis Warren, the number 70 machine, trying to find some more speed, as now he's going to battle with lap traffic. I believe that may be Neri. So Neri gives him the low line, allowing him to come through nice and easy. As we take a look at the running order on the left side of your screen, 11 drivers on the lead lap here with 31 laps remaining. It is going to be very interesting to see if much changes with the top 5 to top 10, really, because most of the drivers are on the same tire strategy here today. Everybody inside the top 8 all came in between lap 103, 102 to 106. But then you've got Davis Warren, Kyle Hall, Carolus Thiel running 9th, 10th, and 11th. All 3 of those drivers came in around anywhere between lap 118 to 123. So with those fresh tires, it's going to be interesting to see how much time they're going to be able to gain. As we've seen Warren gain about 7 or 8 seconds so far tonight, but he's still 25 seconds back. That is a year as far as racing time goes. Eckert's last time by, a 33.16. Carrington clicks off a 33.38, so maybe feeling the tire wear just a little bit more here later in the run. Like a little bit further back in the field, you've got DJ Weeks Jr., the number 97 machine, trying to catch up to that 1 second gap that Christopher Heller currently has. As it looks like that was going to be, I think, Zach Green. Zach Rogers, excuse me, number 5 machine, coming through with fresher tires as well, working his way, trying to get back in the lead lap. Now some of these guys are going to drive the wheels off their machine to get back in that lead lap in case we do get that late race caution that could really, really throw a wrench in things. As once you see 25 to go in the top left-hand corner of your screen, that is where things are going to get very exciting for all of the drivers. And they know they're going to have to absolutely send it. Now, I'm not sure what happened to Andrew McGonigal, the previous race leader in the number 16 machine, as he's been in pit lane for almost 9 minutes so far, so he may have had some sort of issue. It's hard to tell here. An absolute shame as he's been running up front all night long, and looked like he had one of the cars to beat. Now with 26 laps left to go, Davis Warren has gotten a little bit faster here as he's now 22 seconds behind the race leader. As now DJ Weeks Jr. is going to come into pit lane, as well as Westergreen in the number 93 machine. So the two teammates having to come in late in the race with 25 laps left to go. Are they going to come out with enough time on track to try and make anything happen here? Or is that possibly the nail in the coffin for the two drivers who wanted to put down some of their best finishes so far of the season? I'm not quite sure what we're going to see here. Up front, it's Eckert, Carrington, Heller. It looks like Carrington's found a little bit of speed here. That last time by, he almost ran an identical lap time to Eckert. It is 1 second separating first and second place. And I believe Carrington may be using the draft of traffic here as well to try and pull his way up to Eckert, using that other car punching through the air to his advantage. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here with 23 laps left to go at the Atlanta 250. We've got 22 laps left to go. Carrington's found a little bit of a speed. He's got it down to a half second between himself and jumping Johnny Eckert. Now, part of that could be Eckert having a tough time with lap traffic and Carrington being having a bit of an advantage there. But now Carrington's got that carrot to chase right in front of him. Well, let me tell you, that makes it much easier for a racer. So kind of keep your eyes on the prize. Eckert finds a bit more speed, extends the gap to about 0.7 of a second over Casey Carrington. Meanwhile, Josh Thompson and Justin Ray are battling for that 4th place spot as they go side by side, coming out of turn 4 as they get ready to cross the stripes here at Atlanta. These guys are battling very, very hard for that 4th place spot. They're about 11 seconds back from 3rd place Christopher Heller, so a podium might be out of reach for these guys. But again, these are racers. They're going to fight for that best spot they possibly can. Warren, we talked about him earlier on. He's worked his way back up to 7th place. Having a great run with those fresh set of tires. With 18 laps left to go, how much do these guys have in the tank, both literally and figuratively, to make it towards the end? Are we going to see guys running close, such as Eckert, Carrington, Heller? Oh, I think that answered our question as Casey Carrington brings it in with 17 laps left to go. This could really, really shake things up. We just got word from our pit lane reporter, 2 drivers to keep an eye on. Davis Warren in the number 70 and Carola Steele in the 01 machine, running a bit of a different strategy compared to the other drivers out there today. It's going to be down to the line if they're going to be able to make it. Now, the longest stint we saw so far tonight was from Davis Warren and the number 70 machine, where he was able to go 59 laps on a tank of gas and able to keep the tires underneath him that entire duration. Now, in theory, that should put him with plenty of time to make it to the end. But what about Johnny Eckert? Eckert came in on lap 106. So in theory, Eckert may be able to make it all the way to the end. That's gonna be a tough one. That's gonna be very, very close for some of these drivers. Because again, fuel is a concern and tire management is a concern. We've seen blowouts before here in Atlanta where drivers push too long on one set of tires, completely wears through the rubber, and then actually pops the tire simulated in iRacing. So is Eckert going to be able to hold on to it and keep the tires underneath him? That's going to be the huge question of the night, because Warren has worked his way up to 4th place. That may be good enough for a podium here today, as Justin Ray, the number 38 machine, currently 3rd on track. He's not come in since lap 100. And just like that, Justin Ray, the number 38 machine, does come down pit lane with 12 laps left to go. That's going to allow Warren to move up to 3rd and Thiel up into 4th. But is Eckert and Heller going to be able to stretch all the way out? As right now, Warren is still about 20 seconds back from your race leader, Jumpin' Johnny Eckert. I don't think he's going to be able to get up there and challenge for the lead unless we see your race leaders have to come down pit lane. Which I don't know if we're going to see that. I think, in theory, Eckert and Heller should be able to make it to the very end, but it's going to be extremely close. Now, if they calculate wrong here or if we get a caution, it's going to be very exciting to see what happens. But 11 laps left to go. Eckert currently about 13 seconds ahead of second place Christopher Heller, and about 20 seconds ahead of Davis Warren, who's got arguably the freshest tires on track right now in the top 4. Eckert, his last time by, a 33.55. His fastest of the race was a 31.44, so if that's that's probably the best indicator you're going to see of what the tire wear is doing to these guys as the runs progress. Take a look at the left side of your screen. It is Eckert, Heller, Warren, Theo, Weeks rounding out our top 5 here today. Our current hard charger, Careless Theo in the 01 machine, started the season on a controller and has rapidly worked his way up. Good to see Theo out there charging hard and really develop as a racer on and off the track. It's been a lot of fun watching him get faster and more consistent as the season progresses. Theo is about 4.4 seconds back from Davis Warren, so just outside podium contention, as he's got to keep an eye out of the number 97 machine, who's getting mighty big in his rearview mirror. As Weeks has hands down the freshest tires in the top 5. Weeks came in on lap 138 for his final pit stop of the night. And just like that, Weeks is going to make his way by into 4th place. 7 laps left to go. Is Weeks going to be able to catch up to Davis Warren, who's about 4 seconds ahead of him? Or is he going to run out of laps here to go at Atlanta? And again, is Eckert and Heller going to be able to hold out to the very end on this tank of gas, or are they going to have to do a final pit stop and throw the evening? Now, Eckert, he's got about a 24-second advantage over Davis Warren. Got about a 20-second advantage over the 3rd place driver of Davis Warren. So even if he has to fuel save a little bit, he should be okay, as I believe Heller is starting to fuel save already, as his last time by for Heller was a 34.67 compared to DJ Weeks on that fresher tires with a 33 flat. 5 laps left to go for the season finale. Or we can see a battle for 3rd, as Warren is still about 2.6 seconds ahead of DJ Weeks Jr., but that last time by, Weeks was much faster, almost 0.7 of a second faster than Warren. So it's going to be mighty close with 4 laps left to go. What's going to happen here? As Warren has gotten pretty close to Christopher Heller. Heller, I'm almost positive, is rapidly has really gotten off the pace, trying to save on fuel here late in the run to make it to the end. We're about to see a 3-car battle for 2nd place if these guys get linked up in time. Three laps left to go. A 2.5 seconds separates DJ Weeks Jr. from a podium finish, as he is catching up ever slowly to Davis Warren. That last time by, about 0.7, 3/4 of a second faster than Warren. Now, I believe he should catch him with on the white flag lap, I believe. But Warren, he's about caught up to Christopher Heller as well to battle for second. We're going to cycle up here to Davis Warren. And just like that, that is the second place driver of Christopher Heller right in sight. Here comes Warren to pick up second place with 2 to go, but keep an eye at the top left of your screen as there's DJ Weeks Jr. who wants to get in on the party as well. Warren takes over second place. He's still 20 seconds behind your leader, Johnny Eckert, with 2 laps left to go. Heller and Weeks go side by side. The white flag flies here for Johnny Eckert. But this is the show, ladies and gentlemen. DJ Weeks Jr. came in lap 138, is about to catch up to Davis Warren. Warren has crawled his way back up to second as he takes the white flag. Eckert almost an entire lap ahead of the field here today. Will Warren be able to hold off DJ Weeks Jr. in the final moments of this race as your season champion Johnny Eckert takes the win? DJ Weeks Jr. is going to comfortably move up to second. And I believe that's going to leave Davis Warren to take third. But overall, what a great run from these guys. An interesting strategy, and it seems like it worked well for DJ Weeks Jr., but Eckert could not have had a lot of gas left here. As our top 3 drivers take the podium here today. What a great race. Will Johnny Eckert have any gas for the post-race burnout is the next big question. And Eckert, I believe he's out of gas. I'm pretty certain. As the top 3 drivers going to pull onto victory lane to take a very nice photo. As these guys put on a fantastic show here today. And he does, ladies and gentlemen. He has a little bit left in the tank to burn it down here. With a well-deserved win as well as a championship. Up first, we're going to get Davis Warren up in the booth, the number 70 machine. Davis, you had a roller coaster of a night. You're up front. You tried an alternative pit strategy, and it seemed like it was going well for you. Are you happy with a third here for the season finale?
I really am. Yeah, I don't really know what I was trying to do there. About lap 70, I decided to come in just for some fuel. I didn't take tires, but just decided to see if we could make this on one stop. It turns out we could, but tires were really wearing me out. I was worried about possibly not getting third there, but then we got by the 11, and so I wasn't too worried about the 97 at that point. So super excited for Outlaw Racing. I don't know if I'm even on this team or not, but we raced together, so I'll call it a 1-2-3.
Oh, well done as always, Davis. Now, you talked about the tire wear becoming not a whole lot of fun. Was there any risk of blowouts here today at Atlanta, or were you feeling pretty comfortable to make it to the end?
No, there was a risk for sure. So when I went kind of the extra distance there, trying to hopefully catch a caution on that last pit cycle, I thought I only got 40 laps left. I'll just push it hard, and I did. And I probably should have saved a little bit, but it worked out okay. Still got a nice podium finish, but it was very hard. I was sweating there. I don't know what my right front is at, but I did get a warning from the spotter.
Ooh, that is impressive. Well, I mean, Davis, great time talking to you, man. Before I let you sign off, who would you like to give thanks to that may be supporting you behind the scenes?
I've got to say thank you to my mom. She's Deanna Piano in the chat. She's watching about every week. I don't know if she's watching right now.
Oh, she 100% is, Davis.
Okay, awesome. Well, hey, Mom and Dad, thank y'all so much for watching these every week. I know y'all got better things to do on a Friday night. And again, just thanks to everyone who supports me doing this, and looking forward to next season.
Awesome job out there, Davis. Hope to see you do well next season. And thank you again, man.
Thanks for all y'all do broadcasting wise.
Always a pleasure, sir. Up next, we've got DJ Weeks Jr., the number 97 machine. DJ kind of came out of nowhere there. Were you worried that lap 138 pit stop wasn't going to work in your favor, or were you feeling pretty good after you saw the times everybody was putting down?
Actually, we went on because we were up front, me and my teammate Johnny. I went on a different strategy because I figured I didn't have enough pace to outright beat them. So I was like, okay, well, I'll go to plan B and try to make them push with me. And it worked to perfection. I mean, 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't have been any better than that. You were absolutely blitzing through traffic. Now, we know tire wear is always a factor here in Atlanta. Explain to the guys at home or all the families at home what it's like driving 50, 60 laps on one set of tires and how the car handles.
It almost feels like you do not have power steering. It just gets tighter and tighter and tighter, and you have to keep backing the corner up farther and farther. And it's a discipline, and if you overdo it for one lap, you mess up the whole run. So.
Well, DJ, it's been a pleasure calling your races in a whole bunch of different series. I mean, are you fairly happy with the season went for the season one, or were you expecting anything different, or what was the expectations for the first season of the All-American ARCA series?
I mean, I had a great season. I got off to a rough start. I don't think I got my first top 5 for like 3 or 4 weeks, but I closed the season pretty strong, so I'm happy with that. And obviously, my teammates are all in the top 10. I mean, Davis is a de facto teammate, and he got third, and Wester Green's up in there. So we got a strong team, and I can't wait for next season.
I'm looking forward to it as well, DJ. Before I let you sign off and celebrate with the rest of the team, who would you like to give a shout-out to here today?
Always my teammates at Outlaw. Me and Johnny, we worked really hard in practice this week. We ran the 911 schemes tonight. They're beautiful. I'm glad we got the 1-2. Everybody in this league that came out and raced this year, you for broadcasting, and everybody who's watching it right now.
Well, DJ, always a pleasure, man. Hope to see you do well in everything you're racing, and looking forward to calling your action again next season.
All right, thank you, buddy.
And up next, the man of the hour, the Season 1 champion, the man of few words, Johnny Eckert. Johnny, you read me?
Yeah, I do. Woohoo!
Johnny, I mean, great season, a great race to cap it off. You were hauling there 20 seconds ahead over second place. Were you worried at all about the strategy you were on, not being able to make it to the end, or were you feeling pretty good there?
I didn't have much. I realized the situation that I was going to be in relatively early before my last pit stop. So I saw that like Casey and a couple others were pitting that were like second, third, or wherever they were running at the time. And I saw that I had a little bit extra fuel left, that I could go a few more laps. So I stretched it out one more past that, past whatever I could make. And then from there, I was just worried about trying to make it to the end. I realized that it was going to be a tall order, but in my mind, I didn't really have anything to lose. So for me, it was just try to see how good I could do, and it was always that last like 20 laps ish that I could probably fall back on if I absolutely needed to, and try to recover the day, salvage something out of it. But yeah, I'm apparently other people were like Casey, for example. He was I came out of the pits behind him, and I was kind of surprised that I was as close as I was to him. But I think I realized at that point that it was going to be feasible to make it. But I thought it was going to be a lot closer. I don't know what the fuel situation was for Heller, but it seemed like he started to fall off towards the end. And yeah, I'm kind of I'm a little bit shell shocked, because I didn't think that this would turn into a fuel mileage race the way it did. I had a feeling that we'd have to save for a little bit, but I didn't think I was going to be able to go 58 laps. I was ultra fuel saved.
Yeah, no, I mean, it looked like Heller was running the same pace or close to it as you, then he kind of, his lap times kind of dropped very quickly. That may have been a fuel saving strategy, but I mean, at what point in your final run did you realize, hey, I got to commit, there's no point in fuel saving at this point, we either all or nothing? Like, when did you make that call out on track?
About pretty much when DJ got by Casey. I don't exactly remember when that happened, but it was just shortly after the pit stop. And DJ had mentioned something about just trying to pace himself and trying to figure out where he was at. And I looked down and I was like, at one point, it was 50-50 if I was going to keep going on the strategy. But given that the championship was wrapped up and the team championship was wrapped up as well that I didn't have anything to worry about, and it wasn't like so I went long. I went long, and I was going to commit to the strategy as long as I absolutely could, pretty much until I ran out. But I think with 15 laps to go, I realized I was pretty well on pace. I was pretty safe. I had projected about half a lap to the good on fuel. So at that point, I was just like, all right, well, it's very possible. I was just holding my breath for cautions. That's for sure.
Well, it seemed like it worked out really well for you, Johnny. Great job all season long, man, and it's been a lot of fun watching your race. Before I let you sign off and celebrate with the rest of the team, who would you like to give a shout-out to there that's been supporting you all season long?
Yeah, well, first off, I want to thank you for all of your hard work throughout the season, and thank you to the admin team for putting on this series. I mean, it's been an absolute blast. I haven't had this much fun on iRacing in a while, and the guys that race here are just top-notch individuals, great community, so it's a lot of fun, and I appreciate all of them. But yeah, I got to thank my teammates, DJ Weeks. He's been a godsend when it came to what I've been able to accomplish this season. I've been able to finish off a lot more races than I've been running. I finished higher than I've been running from majority of the races, and so without him, I don't know what I would do. D West, he's been another one. Dave Westergreen, he's been critical in everything that I've done throughout the season. There were a couple points where he was, again, like Charlotte, he told me some things right at the end of practice that somehow just clicked, and it really helped me in that race. And yeah, it's also a bit of an emotional race too. Tomorrow's the 20th anniversary of 9/11, and being a New Yorker, running a 9/11 scheme, a memorial scheme, it all comes together pretty emotional. So this one means a lot, and yeah, I want to congratulate Davis too. He he was struggling at one point, and he really figured out how to turn it around and get himself a P3. So happy for him, and yeah, thank you to everyone again. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting me throughout the season. I know I have a couple friends that were watching broadcasts throughout the season, and yeah, it's been a pleasure, and hopefully hope we get to do it all again next season.
Well, always a great time talking to you, Johnny. Congratulations again tonight, man, as well as on a great season, and hope next season is just as much fun for everybody.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
You as well, sir. And that, my friends, is going to do it for the final round of the All-American ARCA Series, the Catalina Wine Mixer of ARCA Racing, the Atlanta 250, where Johnny Eckert was able to cap off a dominant season here tonight. And everybody had a lot of fun and clean, great racing all season long. We're going to be off for a couple weeks before we come back for Season 2, but as always, on behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, the All-American ARCA Series, we will see you guys once we come back for Season 2, and thank you all so much for supporting us all season long. Have a great night, everyone.